Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Kerry Dupree, and I will be your naturalist presenter for the afternoon. Lovely to start the show this afternoon with some baboons, looking like they're enjoying this overcast weather that we're experiencing in southern Africa at the moment. And he looks like he is on a very comfortable log there. Oh, he's enjoying himself, having a good old scratch. So just a reminder, folks, that this is a live and interactive show. So please feel free to send through those questions and comments. Tell me what you are hoping to see today. I would love to see a cat or a lion or leopard or any kind of feline. Feline Tuesday would be great. So yeah, if you want to send through your questions and comments, please feel free to use the QR code on the screen right now. Or of course, you can head across to our YouTube channel or X. And don't forget to use the hashtag @WildEarth if you want to join in. Tell us what you think this baboon is so intently thinking about today. I think he's thinking that he had a bit of a hectic Monday. It's Tuesday. He's got nothing better to do than sit on this very comfortable fallen over tree that looks like a beautiful leadwood from the kind of very smooth and kind of linear stripes on the bark. And he's just having a great time, just sitting there enjoying himself here at Tau Lodge on Madikwe. Oh my goodness, baboons are rather entertaining while on safari, I must say. You can get a lot of entertainment out of a troop of baboons while waiting for some activity. Looks like he's giving himself a bit of a groom. There we go. I was wondering where the youngsters were. Just as I was saying, troop of baboons. There was 2 male baboons we started the show with. And looks like there's a little one roaming around over there. Naughty little fella. These are normally the ones that you hear screaming away. Normally being disciplined by the elder baboons. We have a young zebra that's also come in for a drink at the lodge. Tau Lodge this afternoon. Madikwe is also looking a little bit overcast, just like in Johannesburg. We also have some overcast weather. I don't know if Ballito or Durban, kind of on the coastal regions, are still experiencing some rainfall, but we got some lovely scattered showers yesterday afternoon here in Johannesburg. It was lovely to have a little bit of rain. Ollie Verselotti, welcome. Hello, happy Tuesday. Mercedes Bean, welcome to the show. Greetings to you too. Thank you for joining us today. Oh my goodness, look at that little baboon. He's literally sitting on a log like he's waiting at the police station. Oh my goodness, is that a kill there? What has happened here? Oh, maybe the light. I think the color is a bit off. No, it's an elephant dung. Kind of like could be a bit of a kill there. But, yes. Troop of baboons. It's actually my first time to see baboons at Tau Lodge, so it's really cool. You can see they're obviously coming down to feed on this nice green vegetation on the water, picking away at those lovely green leaves, shoots, and roots. Very nutritious and delicious. Nice little afternoon snack. There's not much greenery out there at the moment, so you can see how these baboons are very intently feeding on this lovely lush green vegetation that's down here at the water's edge and on these islands. Oh, these naughty baboons can be so mischievous, I must say. Yeah, they've got very dexterous hands and feet, obviously perfectly designed for climbing up in those trees. Nice long tail of theirs with a bit of an arch, so there's multi-purpose to that tail of the baboons. Obviously, it's not just for balancing up in trees. Another theory is that it's used in dominance in males, and also when the baby baboon is sitting on his mother's back, they do sometimes use the tail as a bit of leverage so they don't fall off. So Victor, on our usual occasion, so what's pretty cool about crocodiles is crocodiles are apex predators and very opportunistic. So crocodiles will sometimes go for, if they have the chance, they will go for anything they can kind of get the chance to feed on, especially down close to the water's edge is a perfect spot. So these birds are taking a little bit of a risk feeding down here by the water. But there's so much mud in that pan at the moment, I doubt the crocodile would be able to move quick enough to get to these baboons at the time. So they're having a lovely groom. Shame you can see this one tail baboon is missing his tail. Could have gotten broken off in a fight, or maybe he injured it, got caught on something. So we had a lot of the birds yesterday. We're having a grooming day. So I guess today is a baboon grooming afternoon. So aloe grooming is a very important kind of bonding behavior between animals. Giraffe and zebra just keep rushing by. So yeah, not all animals do groom. You do get antelope that do aloe groom as well. Oh, look at that little baby behind. He's like, yeah, I get that armpit. Groom me on my back there. He's properly getting into it. He's even getting a nice stretch in. Yeah, so impala, kudu, nyala, most antelope animals do spend a lot of time grooming with each other. It's definitely a good way to bond. Oh, check at this baboon. He's lying, having the best time. He's like, yep, you missed a spot. Catherine, wild dogs would be pretty awesome, I must say. Wild dogs, wild dogs. I'd love to see wild dogs on the Africam camera somewhere. That would be pretty cool, I must say. It was quite entertaining. Fuzzy Dunlop, Baboon Tuesday does sound just about right. It was quite entertaining watching these guys grooming one another. Penelope Kenyon, I do apologize for all the rains you guys are still having. Sounds like you're still having quite a lot of rain down in Salt Rock. I can just imagine it literally looks like a rainy beach day here in Durban today. Sun hasn't really shone much, so I can imagine Salt Rock must be bucketing with rain. Unlike Tau Lodge here, I don't think Madikwe's had any rain for a while. Isn't this a beautiful male waterbuck also coming down for a drink? Lovely kind of horns he's got there. Nice adults. Oh, these baboons. It's another name for a troop of baboons or a parliament. I like the parliament of baboons. It's rather fitting, especially for this little youngster sitting up on a rock over there. Oh, and the waterbuck has managed to get themselves onto this island here, also to feed on this green reed. So we had some elephants the other day. Oh, there's our crocodile. Shucks, there's a lot happening here at Tau Lodge. The crocodile's kind of got his head tilted to the side there. Oh, we also have a water thickener. So much activity here at Tau Lodge today. Well, you can imagine these poor animals. There's not too much greenery. I don't think Madikwe has received any of the rainfall we've been receiving. So yeah, it's still very dry out there. So any greenery will definitely be attracting all kinds of animals to come through and feed. So we're talking about the crocodiles being a threat to these baboons at the moment. So you see where this crocodile is on the bank here. One, all of the animals around the pan know exactly where he is, so he doesn't have the element of surprise. And two, you can see all this thick mud that is around the pan. It's not ideal. to kind of sneak up onto any predator, any prey species, because this mud is very difficult for them to move around in. So lots of activity here at Tower Lodge. That crocodile does look fast asleep, so I don't think he's too phased about finding a meal. Otherwise, I think the waterbuck should be a bit more careful, so close to that crocodile. But yeah, crocodiles do need the water and that kind of element of surprise to catch their prey. Joanne Mello, happy Tuesday, happy Baboon Tuesday here. I hope you enjoy the show with us today. So I know Juma also looked a little bit overcast today. They had a lot of lions at Juma, a lot of lion activity, rather chilly, overcast. I wonder what is happening with Shidulu and Shalamba. I know it seemed like there might be a bit of a standoff between these two big leopardesses. I wonder if there's going to be a fight there or any kind of interaction. It seemed like Shidulu was kind of moving into Shalamba's territory, maybe considering to take over as the queen of Juma. So what's going to happen there? And Steve had an incredible aardwolf sighting the other day at Amakala. Super jealous. It was an amazing video. And a nice herd of waterbucks. So quite a few males here, and of course a couple of females. They've all managed to make their way into the mud. Shame, girl, don't get stuck in the mud there. So obviously the water's drying up enough that these animals can actually get access to this beautiful, lush green vegetation that is being exposed. Lovely scenery to just watch them. Joanna Miller, thank you for your questions and your welcome greetings. So yeah, about the kind of water pipe, Penelope, asking about an inflow if they're pumping this dam. I'm not sure if they actually do pump this dam here or pan, but to me it doesn't seem like it because the water is dropping quite drastically over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to say probably not, or if they did, maybe the water is not pumping at the time being. But there's still enough water here for the animals. Lots of animals are still being kind of attracted to this waterhole, but it's definitely dropping drastically in the last couple of weeks, I must say. I wonder if the crocodiles might have to move sometime soon because there's not much water left here. In the main dam, there's still a bit, but kind of the one edge of this pan is kind of, drying up quite a bit. So, Catherine, it is great to see so many dragonflies here, and I suspect because there is a lot of perfect habitat for the dragonflies to kind of have the larva in this kind of reeded vegetation, and it was the larva of dragonflies is also one of the kind of main food types for a lot of the water birds that occur here as well, like the black crake and the moorhens. So it's kind of perfect breeding ground for dragonflies and perfect feeding ground for a lot of the water birds that have been around. See this baboon? Oh, not phased by the waterbuck at all. This baboon is kind of pulling the grass, so those will be benefiting kind of in two parts from this vegetation. So they'll be also feeding on the lovely green tops, but a lot of the animals that are feeding here will also be pulling up the roots as well. So I guess the waterbuck will just be feeding on the top pieces of grass, but the baboons will also benefit from the roots. So there's actually a lot of nutrients and kind of very important protein that you do get from a lot of the roots. So baboons Obviously omnivorous, so they do feed on meat from time to time, especially in the dry season. Yeah, shame. They can be quite brutal baboons, killing baby antelope even. Kind of have the same mannerism of making a kill as wild dogs do, so they don't necessarily always kill their prey before they start eating their prey, which a big baboon like this, yeah, could easily down a baby like a small impala or a duiker if he could get his hands on a baby warthog, if he's brave enough to test the mother warthog. And yeah, shucks. So yeah, they are omnivorous. They will feed on meat in times of drought. Obviously, a very high percentage of baboons' diet is fruits, shoots, and they also feed on insects and all kinds of little creatures that they can get there. Oh, there's a tiny little baby black baboon there. Must be like less than a few weeks old, maybe like 1 to 2 weeks old, still black with little pink ears. So, Joanne Mello, I definitely agree with you there. Baboons can be very fascinating. They are very intelligent creatures, a lot more intelligent than we actually suspect, like than we actually expect them to be. Very, very intelligent creatures, and it is very nice to see these two baboon, these species all hanging out together. Baboons, waterbuck, a lot of waterfowl as well. Very special. Don't often see waterbuck here, so yeah, lovely to see the waterbuck have all come in to feed. So I've actually, while we're mentioning baboons and intelligence of baboons, I've got a pretty cool story that I told a few weeks ago while on Mabula about baboons and their kind of intelligence. So we were having a poll about if you had to pick a friend or one pet, would it be a vivid monkey or a baboon? A lot of people pick vivid monkey, but baboons are also super intelligent. So there's actually this story about a baboon named Jack, and he actually used to work on the railway lines as a signalman in the 1880s. So Jack was a pet of a double amputee man named James Wide. So Mr. Wide, actually, he was a worker for the Cape Town to Port Elizabeth railway service, and he used to be a jumper. So he used to jump from railway, kind of one carriage to the next carriage from town to town. Could be how he lost his legs. I'm not too sure how he actually lost his legs until obviously he lost both his legs one day, and then he purchased this baboon in 1881, Mr. Jack the baboon, and trained him to be able to help to push his wheelchair, and eventually ended up training him to operate the railway signals, obviously under supervision. And Jack did so well, he was actually put in charge of the coal yard keys and kind of did a lot of gardening in the train station. Isn't that cool? When you think of a baboon, a chakma baboon, kind of gardening, operating signals in a train station. Yeah, pretty crazy. And he was actually so good at operating this train. Mr. James Wide would just give him some signals with his hands, and then Jack would follow the directions and signals. So, pretty cool story about Jack the baboon. Actually became very, very well skilled and never once kind of got a instruction or direction wrong. He was always very, very studious or very prompt with everything that he did. So pretty crazy how a baboon can actually have such incredible intelligence like that. Nowadays, you would never have a baboon operating a train, tracks for train. Imagine that. I can see a lot of lawsuits being held then. But yeah, pretty cool story about Mr. Jack the baboon. So we've got a little moorhen on the right hand side, also coming in, feeding on some of the kind of insects that have been trapped in the muddy water there. Oh, so this That's exactly what I was talking about just now. The tail. So see one of the purposes of that adult's tail there. See the female, the baby is using her tail as a nice little kind of leverage point to hold on so he doesn't fall off. So, Catherine, have I ever seen different primate species interacting with one another? So, yeah, I've seen baboons and vervet monkeys communally feeding in the same areas. They will kind of, communally feed in the same areas. Sometimes baboons will chase vervet monkeys away if they kind of pose a threat. If there's not enough fruit, I've seen baboons chasing vervet monkeys away. And of course, vervet monkeys are very much submissive to baboons because baboons are a lot bigger and more dangerous than themselves. Um, what else have I seen? I've also seen chimpanzees and gorillas interacting with one another. So yeah, at certain times of the year when the fig trees in West Africa all kind of filled with fruit, you do often see kind of multi-species all feeding kind of in a communal way all together. So I've seen gorillas and chimpanzees all in the same tree feeding with one another. Again, they didn't really pose much of a threat. There was enough food to go around. So there wasn't really any threat to each other. But as soon as, yeah, shame, as soon as the chimps saw us, they took off. So chimps are super intelligent chimpanzees, and still very skittish and afraid of people compared to some other primates. So yeah, they did take off. But you do often have the same monkey species feeding in a tree. So, what? Oh, shame! This baboon's got a little baby monkey. His baby's died. Oh, shame. Oh, that's very sad. I've seen a baboon carrying around a dead baby monkey for shame, sometimes days, sometimes weeks after it's actually passed away. I don't know if any of you folks saw that little baby baboon that has actually died. I thought it might be something that killed, but it was actually a dead baboon. It's kind of very remorseful baboons. I've seen same in chimps and also in vervet monkeys. They will often carry around their dead ones with them for quite some time after they have actually deceased. Oh, check at these. They've got some wildebeest here, kind of getting their heads in the mud, giving themselves a nice mud scratch on the face. And it looks like we've got a sandpiper. We've got our spurwing from yesterday, and looks like a red-billed teal. So Z, yes, it is very rare to see baboons on the drives. So it is quite a treat to see baboons. I know on Juma, it's kind of very rare to see baboons. I've only got baboons once or twice on the live drives. Shame, folks. So here's this female baboon with her dead little baby. I don't think they kind of grasp the concept that the little one has actually died. And Mabula, we got baboons on for our virtual safaris, but we never got them in the afternoon safaris. So Mindy, I have never seen baboons this close either. It must be a pretty special day that the baboons have come down to visit. See that baby is still sitting on its mother's back, resting on her tail. Oh, check at that. Isn't that cute? Such playful little creatures. But do not mistaken these creatures for being innocent, because baboons can completely destroy a campsite in minutes. And baboons and vervet monkeys. So yeah, we're saying baboons and vervet monkeys always leave their little calling cards. You definitely know they've been there. They'll take a little poop on your stoop. Or if they get into your car, oof, no. Havoc. So please, if you ever come on self drives to Africa, Wherever you stay, make sure you close your windows of your accommodation as well as your vehicle, because the last thing you want is a baboon in your car, because it will never smell the same again. This is wildebeest rubbing his head on the mud there. So it could be rubbing for like scent gland or kind of marking his territory of some sort. I know wildebeest do have scent glands in their kind of foreheads there. Temporal, I think temporal scent gland. Give me a nice rub. Good scrub a dub dub. Z, so you are 100% correct there. Baboons can be extremely aggressive. So baboons' canines can kind of be the same as a lion's canines. Shucks, I think I have a pair of baboons' canines that I found somewhere ages ago, and they measure at least, I think, 9 to 10 centimeters long, and that's just kind of half of the tooth, so half of it was broken off somewhere. So yeah, baboons can be very, very vicious in a lot of places where they live too close to kind of communities. Yeah, they get into fights quite often with dogs, and they can rip apart a dog like it's nothing. Even leopards are kind of have to be very brave about attacking a baboon, because they can get a very nasty bite from these baboons. They definitely don't take a chance. They will rip apart anything that tries to mess with them. So yeah, folks, we're watching this female baboon here feeding, and shame, she looks like she's the one that has this deceased little baby baboon with her. I have seen pictures of a chimpanzee actually carrying her baby around for so long. There was only little pieces of bone left. Like only had like, yeah, I think an arm and a leg was actually left. It was so, yeah, been such a long time since she'd been dragging it with her. So yeah, very sad. I guess that is a circle of life. Very nervous impala coming down to drink. Some zebras, some wildebeest. Wow, it is pumping here at Tower Lodge today. It wasn't so busy yesterday, so it's nice to see a lot of activity. And of course, there's our stripes, my dazzle, razzle dazzle. Zebras have come down for a drink. And we have all right, well, let's go check out one of our other locations and see what's happening at Founders Lodge. Oh my goodness, welcome to Founders Lodge in the Eastern Cape, everyone. Looks like we have a rhino having an afternoon nap. Oh, 2 rhinos. Oh, perfect. Nice place to lie for a rhino. So sometimes I find them lying head to toe like this. It's perfect. Kind of like the same as zebra will lie head kind of bum to nose, and kind of helps with insects and parasites. So the tails of the rhinos will constantly be swishing away, helping to swish away the insects from the other one's face. Looks like they're having a lovely, relaxing afternoon. So it looks like kind of a cloudy day all over in South Africa here. Nice nap weather, I must say. I wonder if we're going to have any more rain. What a lovely view. Wonder if we're going to have any warthogs also joining us for a drink. I know the warthogs often come and join us here at Tower Lodge. At Founders Lodge in the Eastern Cape. Those rhinos don't look like they've moved much for a while. Lovely cloudy afternoon. Eastern Cape. Looks like a nice day to be out and about. Not too hot, not too sunny. Maybe we'll see some more rhinos. All right, doesn't seem to be much else happening here at Founders, and those rhino don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. So let's go check out what's happening at Tembe Elephant Park. I've got some more water buck here at Tembe. It's looking like a nice overcast day. Water buck is also coming down to the water's edge to feed on some of this nice lush green vegetation. So yesterday we were kind of discussing about watering holes and the significance of watering holes and how it is not just a water source for animals, but a food source as well for birds, animals, insects, all kinds of creatures. Yeah, very creates little ecosystems in the environment that is perfect for many different creatures in the circle of life. It's very important for the social bonding of a lot of animals as well. Sometimes this is the only time a lot of animals get to bond with one another. So just like with this big male water buck, you might not see many other water buck for a few days while he's grazing kind of on his own, doing his bachelor things. But when he comes to a watering hole, perfect time to meet other waterbuck and kind of have a bit of interaction. Maybe find some females he fancies. Sounds like the Egyptian geese are busy. So yeah, watering holes play a very important, crucial role in the ecosystem. Special breeding grounds, perfect habitat, bushbuck, nyala, so the thick vegetation that's kind of created around watering holes is a very important ecosystem that supports a lot of life. Of course, our kitty cats, the lions and leopards, also love to use watering holes as kind of a luring point to hunt as well. So the benefits are kind of endless of these little ecosystems. Oh, we have an African jacana just behind there. A ring-necked dove or Cape turtle dove also calling. No, red-eyed dove, sorry. Red-eyed dove calling. No elephants having a mud wallow or swim today here at Tembe. We have our masked weavers also that in that big beautiful tree just to our right. Oh, we've got some woolly neck storks, some impala. Oh, there's our woolly neck storks. Sounds like an emerald spotted dove also calling. Perfect habitat and kind of environment for emerald spotted dove. While we are on the birding topic, there's a very cool discovery that's just been recorded. So a photograph has just been captured of the first ever new goshawk species. So the New Britain goshawk species that was thought to have been extinct for 55 years. So yeah, awesome news to find this New Britain goshawk. So the first time it's ever been seen in 55 years. It's thought to be extinct, so pretty cool. That was captured by a photographer who was out taking photographs. Mr. Tom Versus captured this photo. So yeah, new species back on the radar, goshawk species. And of course, goshawks are the main predators for these weavers. So yeah, the southern masked weavers will be predated on a lot by goshawks. They'll come and raid their nests, rip them down, pull out the chicks. So all the more important for this male southern masked weaver to be very vigilant while building his nest. Make sure it's as strong as possible, very well secured to these branches, hopefully to evade being ripped apart by a goshawk. So yeah, yesterday the weavers were making quite a lot of noise, I must say. So often when the females are around, the male southern masked weaver will be, "Ooh, what's up in the tree? Looks like something is in the tree." Oh, it's actually elephants on the other side of the tree. Oh my goodness. For a moment there, I thought there was possibly like a leopard up in the tree, but it's just some elephants on the other side of the tree there, coming down for a drink. Well, that was a bit exciting for a moment. It's like, oh, leopard in the tree, leopard in the tree. It does kind of look like a leopard hanging out the tree with its legs, doesn't it? It's just an elephant feeding on the vegetation on the other side. Oh, and we've got a beautiful male bushbuck that's just come down for a drink. Speak of the devil. So we were just chatting about bushbuck and how this is perfect habitat for them. Quite a pretty boy. Hello. So yeah, bushbuck are a very good indicator species. So bushbuck will kind of indicate if you don't see too much bushbuck around rivers and pans. It is very kind of indicative of kind of overgrazing or not enough vegetation, because bushbuck, they need to have a lot of very thick areas, a lot of kind of thickets um, that normally occur around pans, watering holes, as well as rivers. So yeah, if you have areas that's overfed or overgrazed or been kind of fed on a lot by elephants, you will see the bushbuck population will decline. Shame, he's very nervous. All right, let's head back to Tower Lodge and see what's just arrived at the watering hole. So I've got some beautiful elephant bulls that have just arrived here at Tower Lodge, also coming for a drink. Wonder if they're going to try and get stuck in the mud in order to get some lush green vegetation. So Joanne Miller had a very good question about why waterbuck have a ring around its bottom. What is the purpose of the ring around its bottom? So apparently the reason for waterbuck having this ring, so a lot of the markings and coloration on a lot of animals are all either to camouflage or blend in, or also a follow me sign. So apparently this ring is a follow me sign for the waterbuck, for the little ones to be able to see and follow the adults through thick vegetation. Oh, look at this elephant getting stuck in the mud. Yeah, because bushbuck generally, a waterbuck generally hang out in very thick areas, so sometimes it can be difficult to kind of see the body shapes of the adults when moving through this thick reeded vegetation. And apparently, this is one of the kind of follow me signs of a waterbuck. I like the wet toilet seat story. The story I grew up about learning about the waterbuck is that the waterbuck one day was super desperate for the toilet, and the toilet in the nearby pan had recently been maintained and painted. And the waterbuck was so desperate for the toilet he did not see the sign on the door saying maintenance in progress, and went straight through and sat on the white toilet seat. It was still wet. So I like that story. But yeah, can be a very good follow me sign for the waterbuck. This elephant bull seems to be slightly indecisive. Just kind of standing. Oh, what a lovely scenery this has got. Waterbuck, zebra, elephant, sure owl, wildebeest will be somewhere close by. Always lovely to have the baboons. So some more wildlife news. I know on one of the And Beyond camps they released a video of a female leopard that was defending her cubs against some lions. So it's crazy how there's nothing as thick as a mother's love. Nothing can break that of a mother's love. So a female leopard was defending her cubs against a lion on one of the And Beyond destinations. So really cool to kind of hear about interaction and behavior like that. Generally, leopards wouldn't dream of taking on a lion, or even lioness. But yeah, pretty cool to see what kind of animals will do when they need to protect their young. This is lovely to see this greenery. Wonder where this zebra's friend is. Probably a male that's left behind, solitary male on his own. I don't know if anyone has been following or ever heard of a white giraffe. I know there's a bit of news about the white giraffe. There was a female white giraffe that was thought to be the last of her kind. It was a giraffe that was found in Kenya. So pretty cool to find these leucistic animals that have a very light color. So it's more of just a recessive gene that they got from their parents. High chance of them having a different coloration. I know zebras can have different patterns too. But apparently this female giraffe was in Kenya, and she did have a calf that did not survive. It's kind of difficult for these animals that are different colorations because they're not really designed to survive in the world of different colors like that. So I don't think she survived for very long. Oh no, there's a little baby zebra stuck in the mud. That is not good. Shame, poor thing. This does happen this time of the year, folks. So unfortunately, I was wondering why the zebra was on its own. I thought it was a male, but it's a female, and obviously her baby is stuck in the mud. It's not ideal with these crocodiles around, but again, you can actually see it's not just a bit of wind. No, so it's not ideal. Poor little baby zebra. I hope that, hopefully manages to get itself out of the mud. It's not much that the female zebra can do for it because she could kind of be at risk of getting herself stuck in the mud as well. So shame, this poor little thing. If the crocodile do notice it, I'm sure it will not last very long. Oh, poor little thing. I'm sorry, little guy. Oh, it's such a difficult situation when you have something happening like that. I've had often a lot of rhinos stuck in the mud. You get elephants stuck in the mud as well. But yeah, a lot of animals at this time of year might take a bit of a chance going into the mud. You can see there it's very slippery. And this poor female zebra is a bit, yeah, unfortunately, she's a bit helpless. There's not much that she can do. Unfortunately, in a lot of reserves, there's kind of, yeah, it's kind of difficult, the question of interfere or not interfere. Some reserves do have a non-interference policy if it is wildlife, if it's a natural event that has kind of taken place in the wild that's not human inflicted, then generally it's the best thing not to interfere. But some reserves will kind of get involved and help to interfere. So yeah, it's always a little bit of a tricky one. I do know of elephants. Elephants can be very sympathetic, very kind of compassionate when it comes to other animals getting stuck in the mud. But if this poor zebra doesn't look like it's in too much distress, the elephants might not think anything is wrong. But yeah, wouldn't that be cool if one of the elephants came and helped this poor little zebra out of the mud? It's kind of the only other species that would be able to actually use its dexterous trunk in order to pull it out of the mud. Now, elephants often have been seen trying to help or help rhinos out of muddy areas, but it can be quite difficult as well because sometimes in trying to help an animal, elephants can end up impaling the animals that they're trying to help. Shame. You can see this female's obviously been in the mud already, trying to get into her little fall in the mud there. Poor little thing. So if this baby zebra doesn't get taken out by crocodiles, sometimes they can actually die of just a dehydration and exhaustion, especially if they've been there for a long time fighting away, trying to get out. Oh, that makes me so sad. Unfortunately, it is a cycle of life. It does happen. These things do happen. See the Sodak area here, just behind the zebra. Perfect place for animals to come and get some minerals. Does look like she is still in quite great condition, this female zebra. I think I'd give a guess she probably still has quite a few more foals that she probably still have. Looking to see if there's anything else out there. This wildebeest disappeared quite quickly. There's a whole bunch of wildebeest here earlier. All right, let's go back to Founder's Lodge and see what's waiting for us at Founder's Lodge. So we still have our two rhinos here. It could be two big bulls that are just hanging out, enjoying a nice lazy Tuesday afternoon. they're kind of doing what our rock dussies have been doing. They're like rock dussie moding. So when we talk about rock dussie moding, it's kind of like rock dussies don't, they don't really get up to much. They probably eat only 5% of their day. They only need to eat a couple of hours. They've got very sharp incisors, rock dussies, in order for them to be able to feed very quickly. So they feed for a bit and rest most of the day. So yeah, imagine just being able to chill. So rock dussies spend a lot of their time just chilling on the rocks, sitting around, and that's why they have such a high fat content. So these rhinos look like they're enjoying a nice afternoon of rock dusty moding. It's good every now and then. I think it's good to take it easy, rock dusty mode a bit. I have to remind myself to do that as well, because sometimes we get so caught up in our busy lives and we forget to actually just take it slow, enjoy and take in the environment around us. See, like these rhinos are doing, they're listening, keeping those ears out. See them moving from side to side, back and forth, listening what's happening. It's almost like they're in unison. See, the ears are kind of like switching at the same time, listening, constantly listening. It's quite cute. If you've ever been close up to a rhino, they have quite a bit of fluff just on the edges, the outer edges on the tip of their ears, a little kind of layer of fur. Very cute, just a little bit. Kind of also going into their ears as well. And this kind of is a bit of a defense against insects to try and repel too many insects from getting inside their ears. And we have a little Cape wagtail. Hello, little wagtail. Some Egyptian geese also roaming around looking for some food. It's quite crazy. Egyptian geese can move quite a distance, even with their chicks, from one pan to the next. I was quite surprised that on Juma there was some Egyptian geese goslings, and the parents that actually moved from Baobab Dam all the way to Juma Dam, which in a straight line must be at least 2 kilometers or 1.8 kilometers. Imagine a little family of Egyptian geese just roaming through the bush. I'm surprised that none of them got eaten. Could be a nice juicy snack for a lot of predators. We bumped into serval or a caracal or a leopard or a bird of prey. Oh. There's our warthog. Hello, little warthog. It's like a female warthog coming down for a nice afternoon drink. Two little warthogs. Hello, guys. Welcome to the afternoon. Tuesday, live at the waterhole. They've also come in to see what's happening. Pretty small tusks, so that's a big difference between the male and female warthog. Females generally have much smaller tusks. Obviously, also only one set of warts, which is kind of closer down towards their snout, whereas male warthogs generally are a lot bigger. Their tusks can be, shucks, almost look like an old man's curly beard coming all the way around. Like, wow, sometimes they almost twist into themselves. And obviously, male warthogs have much bigger. Oh, it's actually two males, sorry. Didn't see those extra warts there. So yeah, two young male warthogs. You see those kind of warts on the side of its face there. You can perfectly see the warts there. Oh, they're gonna have a nice mud bath. Oh, what a lovely day for a mud bath. Oh, warthogs love their mud baths. So it's interesting that these warthogs here in the Eastern Cape have such small tusks because, shucks, the warthogs at Mabola, that I've seen. Even in Juma, there's quite a few warthogs there with rather big tusks. These Eastern Cape warthogs need to step up their game a bit. They've got very small tusks. So let's just have a bit of a quiet moment while we watch and listen to these warthogs enjoying a Tuesday afternoon mud bath. Cool. Awesome to watch these warthogs just having a nice mud bath. You can hear all that mud slushing around. Warthogs are definitely very big fans of mud baths. So it's kind of like a multi-purpose. Yeah, it can help protect their skin, moisturize their skin, protect it from the sun, insect kind of repellent, thick layer to prevent them from being bitten by insects. And of course, when they go and rub off that mud, all the ticks that might be on them get stuck in the mud, and then they can rub all of the parasites off. So it's kind of like has many, many different uses, and I'm sure the warthogs also really enjoy mud bathing too. I'm sure it's a fun afternoon activity for them. All right, why don't we head across to Stony Point and see what is waiting for us at Stony Point with our Egyptian goose sitting on her eggs. Lovely to see our Egyptian goose is still here, still sitting on her nest, very attentive mother of 2 eggs that we're sitting on today. Thank you for joining us. So she has been sitting on this nest since the 20th of last month. The general incubation period for Egyptian goose is between 30 to 35 days. You can lay anything between 4 to 8 eggs. Generally, most of the gosling sizes I've seen are about 6 to 8 maximum, but if 2 or 3 survive, that's pretty successful. Yeah. So yeah, she's been here for a couple of days. We've been tuning in to see some updates on how she's doing. I wonder if she's been given a name yet. I wonder if our Zoomy that is operating this camera wants to give her a name. He's the one who's been watching and giving some updates. Maybe if we're lucky enough, we'll see the chicks in a few days if possible. It's still a little bit early. So these Egyptian geese generally reach sexual maturity at about 2 years of age. They do remain monogamous throughout their lives in the breeding pairs. We spoke about yesterday the nest building, which is generally kind of small depressions either on the ground or they can actually yeah, use old birds' nests, platform nests in trees like secretary bird. Um, I've seen them using vulture nests as well as hammercock's nests. So they can be a bit of a nuisance, these Egyptian geese, because they do actually chase vultures off of their nest in order to nest on a vulture's nest. So they'll actually chase the vultures off and even throw out the current eggs that are in the nest. So a little bit of a problem, especially when most vulture species are quite endangered. Don't want Egyptian geese chasing vultures off of their nests. No, so generally the young Egyptian geese learn to fly anything from about 60 to 70 days after they have hatched and are fully dependent by the age of 4 months. And the lifespan of an Egyptian goose is about 30 to 35 years, although most individuals only live for 14 to 15 years of age in the wild. We're having a bit of a scan for our hyraxes. Where are they? Our little hyraxes. We were talking about otter the other day and how it'd be pretty cool to find some otter here. It's pretty rare, pretty unlikely in most areas, although otter do occur in kind of coastal lagoons and coastal regions. Perfect habitat for them, there's nice rocks in order to be able to catch crabs and crustaceans, which is oh, there we go. There's a little hyrax that just oh, there we go, blending in so well. So shucks, they do blend in really well to the rocks, the hyraxes. Sometimes these hyraxes from a distance you wouldn't see them. Sometimes the only way to actually see them is their silhouettes, kind of on the tops of rocks. And the main prey species for these hyrax is the black eagle in some regions, and of course, leopard. Although in a lot of cultures, a lot of people do like to eat these hyraxes as well. It's quite a nice meal. If you think about the very high fat content just now. Oh, and look at those teeth. So we were talking about earlier, they're specially designed in sizes that can very quickly cut through vegetation. Oh, check at those teeth. Oof, I would not want to be bitten by one of those. They're giving us a bit of a Bugs Bunny stare, isn't he? A bit of a snarl. While we have this ocean sounds here, it's just so tranquil and very peaceful. Why don't we take a nice meditation moment to just sit and listen to the sounds of the ocean, sounds of the waves crashing next to us. Watch this little rock dusty or hyrax as he goes about his day. Take a few deep breaths in, give yourself a little bit of love. Take some time to just relax, rest with it, take in the beautiful sounds of nature. Very special to actually listen to the sounds of this ocean. I am loving this like just quiet times listening to the ocean. I don't know if any of our other viewers out there love the sound of the ocean, but oh, that is like my therapist. The loud crashing sound of the reef. Great sound to fall asleep to as well. Do we have any viewers out there that love the ocean and love the sounds of the ocean? So this female Egyptian goose, she's quite a good mother, I must say. Yesterday we were watching her. She was kind of putting all the fluff around her, making sure that she had a nice tight seal on her nest. All these down feathers, picking some vegetation, also putting it all around on the edges. So while we're at the ocean here, I was just thinking maybe we should do a poll. So two of my favorite things in the world are the mountains and the ocean. So why don't we do a poll? What is your favorite things? If you could pick a holiday, and of course it's not an Africa animal orientated holiday, would you pick to go to the ocean or would you pick to go and hike in the mountains, running on the beach or hiking up a mountain? Oh, that is a really hard one. Very, very hard one. I've been hiking quite a lot lately. I haven't been to the beach recently. Well, actually, I think I was last in Swakopmund in Namibia, but it was not for long enough. So I think at this time in my life, I would pick ocean for sure. But what would you pick? Would you like to go hiking in the mountains, or would you like to pick a beach holiday? Which one would you choose? So we're going to run a poll there. So if you want to head over to probably on Twitter, click up the poll, go put your votes. I'd love to see what our viewers today are more keen on, hiking or ocean. Hiking or ocean. So this Egyptian goose looks like she's falling asleep quite nicely here. She's got quite interesting coloration on her bill there, a bit of a two-tone coloration. You have a iridescence on their feathers, these Egyptian geese. Kind of the lower primary feathers on their wings will kind of have a bit of a bluish green iridescence to them. So a lot of birds actually have an iridescence in their wings, sorry, in the feathers on their wings that are dark if they're if they're in the shadows, they're dark, so that iridescence kind of reflects with the sunlight. So when the sun hits their wings, and they look colorful, just like hardy dars. Sometimes hardy dars look completely colorless, and then they go into the sunlight, and you can see that beautiful iridescence within their feathers. Whereas taracos are quite different because that red tarakin, which is the kind of chemical compound of color that you get in the taracos and those red under feathers of theirs. So it's kind of like the under primary feathers of their wings. So when they fly, you can see that bright red, and that is an actual color. So it's not an iridescence that you're seeing. It's not reflecting light or light reflecting the color of their wings. It's actually an actual color. So that's what's quite special, and where taracos get their name from is that tarakin, which is the pigment coloration within the red feathers on their wings. So we're still doing our poll. Please go ahead and vote for what your holiday destination would be, mountains or the ocean. This Egyptian goose is sleeping quite well. I wonder if she knows that there's quite a few people sitting and watching her here every day. Seems quite comfortable, and she has no idea she's like going to become a celebrity. Very famous Egyptian goose. So the Egyptian geese are not threatened at all, so they are considered as a least concern. We actually have a very large population, over 500,000 individuals. I mean, surveys are very difficult to kind of get an idea on populations. But well, I think kind of from the surveys that have been done on the World Bird Day counts, let's count the number that they have got two. They can be known as household pests. Sorry, pets. They actually used to have them in pets in Egypt. Shucks. I don't think I would like an Egyptian goose in my yard. I feel like they could be quite aggressive, chase you and your dog around the garden. I feel like they could definitely rule the roost. Just having a look, what else is out there? Oh, do we have some cormorants possibly? Oh, looks like we have some cormorants here. Grooming, feeding themselves, giving themselves a bit of a groom, so they're probably taking a break from their hunting endeavors. Now having a bit of a groom session out on the rocks. Looks like we've got some Cape cormorants here, smaller individuals that are more black in color. When the adults actually have orange on their bills and a blue eye. Bigger. Giving their wings a bit of testing there. They will generally feed on fish, these cormorants. Very efficient hunters. They do feed in quite deep water, so it's quite cool how they are very well developed at swimming and hunting in the water. You find these cormorants in mostly coastal regions, and I must say, if you get close enough to a cormorant, it's really that blue eye of theirs. Very beautiful. Lots of orange. Sorry, folks. Looks like we had a little bit of challenges with our camera there. We have now come over to Ukukuyu over in Namibia in Etosha National Park, and looks like we have some oryx and springbok. Some of them are even in the water feeding, having a bit of a drink while having a nice swim as well. We had an elephant pool party here yesterday. It was quite marvelous to watch. The elephant pool party. It's interesting how they come and go within minutes. You see the elephants arriving, they'll have their pool party for about 15, 20 minutes sometimes, and then they are gone. And then other days they'll stay for hours playing in the water. So we've got some poll results in for our poll about where would you take your next holiday, in the mountains or in the ocean. So far leading is mountains at 66.7, and coming in at second place is ocean at 33.3%. So I do see why mountains can be in the lead. So I know ocean holidays can be a little bit restricting at times, kind of like it's beach and surfing and like beach and more beach. So once you get tired of running on the beach and swimming, it's not much else to do sometimes. Beach holidays can be more of just like a relaxing getaway, but yeah, hiking in the mountains does give you a whole other option of things to do. So yeah, I think I'm lucky in that I've got more hiking friends than ocean friends, because I don't think I could just bloom on a beach for too long. I'm definitely one of those early risers, likes to be busy, get up to lots of things, go running, shell picking in the mornings, same in the evenings as the tide comes in and goes out. But then during the day, you kind of like, gets a bit hot out of the beach. So, yeah, thank you for voting. If you'd still like to vote in our poll is still open, probably till the end of the show. But for now, mountains is coming in first place at 66.7% of our viewers today would rather take a mountain holiday, go hiking, than visit the beach. I guess it's not a great time to go and visit the beach now anyway, because seeing as it's raining in Ballito and Durban. Um, Cape Town's weather also looks a little bit cold and windy today, and of course it is September. Worst time to go and visit Cape Town, I must say. Very windy, weather's unpredictable. Rain is like, you get 10 seasons in a day. I love seeing these oryx in the water here. So the springbok and the oryx, when they get a chance and the watering hole's not too full, they do enjoy to go into the water and have a bit of a wallow. I've never seen them actually going deep, deep in the water, just kind of like, yeah, to their bellies, and then they kind of, yeah, not swimming like the elephants. There we go. Check out those oryx. So we had some baby eland yesterday in Aldonio. I accidentally mistaken them for baby oryx because I have seen some baby oryx as well at over in Mabula. So yeah, I'll keep a lookout and see if the oryx here are also starting to drop their foals. I've seen some very fat mothers. But yeah, interesting. Sorry, folks. Seems like we had some trouble with our camera there in Ukukuyu. So we just linked across to another location to find some, speak of the devil, hardy dars. The hardy dar ibis sitting, grooming themselves. So perfect. We were actually just chatting about the hardy dars and how these, up, we are in Juma. Oh, unusual place for hardy dars to sit. Okay. Yeah, so we're just chatting about the hardy dars and that kind of iridescence and glossy kind of layer within their wings that reflects in the sunlight. That's how blacksmith plovers calling. Looking very dry in June, I must say. Nice to see some green trees and nice to see the sun is out. Maybe Amy and Panda and the rest of the team on Juma will have a nice sunny afternoon on the sunset safari today. Shucks, it is very dry from the last time I saw it. So on the other side of this pan here, the Juma Dam, is where there were some pretty cool pictures and videos of Lalamba coming down for a drink with her little one. Dying to see that little princess leopardess of Lalambas grow up to be a big leopard. So we're still getting in some poll results. Mountain is still leading a mountain getaway holiday at 63%, and much long gone. Catherine, I'm very jealous of you that you can go hiking anytime. So I am also very lucky that I have Little Falls Nature Reserve very close to me. It's like probably 2 kilometers walking distance. So it's just up the hill here, and I can also go hiking in this little nature reserve pretty much any time I want as well. And there's actually a lot of hikes that I found around Gauteng. Most of them are better to do as like a day hike on weekends, and of course there are a lot of multi-day hikes. But of course, the creme de la creme of hiking in South Africa will definitely have to be Drakensberg, Eastern Cape, and Cape Town. 3 big hiking destinations that I am dying to hit. So if anyone has some of their favorite hikes in South Africa, if we've got any South Africans watching today and you've done some incredible hikes, please feel free to send them through. I'm looking for some new hikes in Gauteng or just anywhere in South Africa. It's hard to pick. There are so many. So yeah, please send them through. All right, doesn't look like we've got much happening here in Juma. Why don't we head back to Tembe and see what's happening at Tembe Elephant Park? Oh, so just come back to Tembe Elephant Park here, folks, in KwaZulu Natal. And lovely to see two female impala, and this one female looks like she is done for the day. She's hit her cap and she is now resting, just like chilling. And our grey heron has also come to also see what's happening. Very nosy, very curious. Shame we had a grey heron the other day. Was it on Sunday? I think it was on Sunday, at Tower Lodge, that looked so tired. He almost looked like he had rings around his eyes and he looked like he just had a terrible weekend. You know, that Sunday when you wake up and you just haven't gotten enough sleep, done way too much, been way too busy, and not looking forward to Monday. So this grey heron, I must say, is looking a lot more sprightly than that grey heron we saw the other day at Tower Lodge. Wow, he was looking awful. So sorry, folks, we do have an outlet here. Could be a place where the water is kind of being fed into this pan. I think the elephants might have broken this outlet because I saw the other day, yeah, it looked like there's a bit of an exposed pipe. The elephants probably got up to no good. This is a lovely photo. I mean, just cut out this water tank on the left, but check at that. It's quite unusual to see a female adult female impala just lying down like that. I mean, no, the babies can get tired from time to time. It's pretty cool. So, folks, we have 6 minutes left, or probably 5 minutes now left of the poll. So, please head across to our Twitter page and vote for which destination you would like to go on holiday to, the ocean or the mountains. Looks like ocean is catching up pretty rapidly, I must say. I'm selling the ocean quite well. So yeah, if you'd like to go on a hiking holiday or a beach holiday, get that tanning time in, ice creams on the beach. Yeah, I'm trying to get ocean to win this time, I think. Yeah, mountains are awesome. Always ready for a mountain kind of hiking holiday, but sometimes it's nice to have a nice chilled beach holiday, especially if it's non like public holiday time. No one else is at the beach or go running or skateboarding along the promenade. What a dream. So yeah, a few minutes left of the poll if you want to go over to Twitter and vote there. So Jive Bunny, those baby eland yesterday were quite adorable. I must say they did kind of morph for me. I'm sure they looked just like little oryx babies, and they were oryx kind of at Old Donyo. And all of a sudden, they were with the eland, and I was like, "What? What's happening there?" Oh, we've got a brown-hooded kingfisher here, folks. Check at that. So, yeah, really cool to see this little brown-hooded kingfisher. Check out that cute little red beak of his. And again, we were chatting about iridescence in birds' feathers and wings. And yeah, that's beautiful blue color that he's got there. He's kind of got some stripes on the front too of his belly. So he'll sit on top of that little branch, wait for a perfect moment to swoop down and catch a little insect or grasshopper. So, Pat Haggett, I'm glad that you love the mountains too, but yeah, sometimes we need a bit of a break from the mountains. So, yeah, I hope that you get some time in the mountains as well. That's where Cape Town is quite nice because you can actually just drive in some of those beautiful mountainous scenic routes. So if you're not into hiking, then you can always just drive and enjoy a beautiful view as well. So Joanne Miller, I definitely agree with you there. Some of my favorite hikes have been in areas where there has not been much wildlife or even birding, but just the landscapes have been incredible. So yeah, they're so hard to pick what kind of holiday you want to go on when you're chasing mammals, or you're chasing a bird species. If you're going hiking or on the beach, you know you're not going to see much wildlife. So I try and always incorporate a wildlife holiday with maybe a hike at the end. I think that's a nice combination. And Carrie Peace, this is definitely a beautiful view here. There's a bird that keeps flying and landing on this branch. Let's see what it is. I know there are some little bee eaters that do hang out here. I wonder if it's a little bee eater. What is this little bird? So Sandy Franklin 69, thank you for telling me about your Great Smoky Mountains National Park that you live in. Where are you sending your comment in from today? Great Smoky Mountain. Is that? I don't think that's in South Africa. Is that in the States? I would love to come and visit you and hike in your Great Smoky Mountains. I'm sure there's a story behind that national park. I would love to come and visit and see your mountains. Beautiful mountain hiking. Great Smoky Mountain. I'm trying to see, it could have been the weavers flying in. The bird kind of, oh, there we go. Yeah, there's more weavers. Oh, there is our brown-hooded kingfisher. Wonder if he's looking for a snack. Ah, there we go. I guessed correctly. Sandy Franklin 69, your Great Smoky Mountains in the USA. I would also love to come and visit. They look amazing. Looks like you've got some beautiful hiking trails up there. Beautiful scenic mountain scenery. Oh, especially in spring, like right now, lots of beautiful different trees and their colors and very dramatic sunsets. Beautiful. It's crazy. If you didn't know our little brown-hooded kingfisher was hiding in this sickle bush here, you'd barely even know he was there. Also hear the Egyptian geese calling in the background. Let's have a bit of a quiet moment to see what other birds we can hear calling around Tembe. All right, let's head over to Juma and see what's happening on Juma Private Game Reserve. We're having a great birding afternoon here, I must say. Look at this little wood hoopoo. I think we saw him the other day on Sunday. I think he was around. Little wood hoopoo, just feeding, roaming around, scurrying in the undergrowth. I love these colorations. Such a beautiful contrast, especially um, when the little hoopoo, especially when the males kind of erect that crest of theirs. Really pretty. Kind of the older they get, the more the light and color they get. So I found a few old ones before, so they can be quite territorial. They'll use kind of a very similar pattern or path that they'll kind of go through almost every day. So I used to have one living outside my house at some stage, and shame from the time I arrived to the time I left that reserve, she was looking a little bit bedraggled and old in the end. So they do lose their coloration a little bit. The brown becomes a little bit lighter. It's a little hoopoo. Very small, these hoopoes, only about 25 to about 30 centimeters in length. And they only weigh about 46 to 89 grams. So isn't that such a tiny little bird? So it probably fits in the palm of my hand, I think. Probably about in the palm of your hand. They are quite a melodious bird, so let me try and play the call for you. I've got the call here. Hoopoo. Got quite a cool little call. It's the African hoopoo. Let me play this call, see if you can hear it. So you can see where it gets its name from, the hoopoo. So Mindy, it does have a very long beak, these hoopoes, and that's because they are actually omnivorous. Their main food type is actually insects, but they will also eat small lizards, frogs, spiders, little fruit, as well as seeds. But that long bill is also especially designed for sticking it down into smaller holes, and that's how they manage to catch all those insects that they like to feed on so very much. Shucks, I didn't realize these hoopoes had such a diverse kind of diet. So these hoopoes obviously use that beautiful coloration of theirs. They do are monogamous bird species. They do engage in a quite elaborate courtship display. The male will actually display for the females. And it only lasts per season. So the male has to display every season in order to win over the female's affection. They do build their nests in pre-existing holes in trees, so they might use holes from another bird species in order to nest in the trees. Very beautiful bird. It's quite a common bird that you do find in gardens. I'm sure a lot of you would have seen these hoopoes in your gardens back at home. And it is known as the African hoopoo, but you also get the Eurasian hoopoo, which will occur also in kind of Europe, Sri Lanka, Portugal. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen those hoopoes. These two Egyptian geese seem. I was just wondering about these Egyptian geese. So I wonder if any of their chicks have survived this year. Because there were how many pairs? At least two pairs of hoopoo. I mean, Egyptian geese on Juma with chicks. No, this river line behind these Egyptian geese here is quite a busy spot. The elephants have a pathway that they use up and down this river line, and yeah, there's often quite a few pairs of the bush duiker or common grey duiker that also roam up and down this river line. I've actually had one day on a drive where we had one of the viewers actually directing us to this spot. They thought it was a leopard or wild dog, but it was actually a great dyke. And because with Panda, we couldn't see anything, but one of the viewers who was actually watching the cameras could see this dyke sitting there. So crazy how good the view is. Rare go away bird calling there. So it's perfect. Some of these trees on the other side of the kind of riverbed, they are perfect spots. The wild dog will often kind of lay in that nice shaded area there. What else is lurking in Jumapan? Super muddy. Lots happening. Yeah, lots of dried up mud at the moment. Good birding. Where are these Mopani tree squirrels? I know these logs are perfect habitat for Mopani tree squirrels. So one thing this dry season does is with all this kind of drying up water at the pans, I love walking around a dam like this to look for tracks. Find some nice fresh leopard tracks or lion tracks in the mud. Maybe if you're lucky, like aardwolf, aardvark, something like that. Yeah, the tracks do show up very well in nice soft. Oh, that's the hoopoe. Can you hear the hoopoe, folks? Isn't that cool to hear the hoopoe calling that we've just seen? I don't know if he's still around because sometimes when they vocalize, the males will actually put their crest up and display. What else do we have lurking about? I'm looking for a hoopoe. Maybe we'll be lucky to see it displaying. Usually when they call like this, they display with that crest up. Whoop. Of course, he's right behind the tree. Maybe he's trying to locate the female. Oh, no, that's actually. What is that? Anyway, let's head over to Victoria Falls and see what else we can find on this afternoon's Live at the Waterhole. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Victoria Falls, Victoria Falls. This is my hometown, folks. I am born and bred in Zimbabwe, so it is great to see Victoria Falls, and of course, how dry it is looking at this moment. It's kind of looking the same as like Madikwe area. A lot of Botswana. Yeah, it's looking very dry like this. Not much greenery. All these pomopanis have lost their leaves. I know this year in the drought, a lot of animals have even been feeding on leaves that they generally don't touch. So a lot of the teak trees in like Victoria Falls area. So the teak, the very famous Rhodesian teak tree, that has leaves very high in tannins. Normally, animals do not touch those leaves, but this year we have seen animals actually feeding on the leaves of those teak trees, which again is not the greatest sign because if an animal eats leaves that are very high in tannins, it can sometimes upset their stomachs, make them not too happy. But again, it could also be just an adaptation of animals trying to feed on different kinds of vegetation. But yeah, the animals are definitely going to be, yeah, getting lean this dry season. So, what do we have at the watering hole? There's always some vultures and marabou storks lurking around here at in Victoria Falls at Safari Lodge. They do the vulture feeding here every day. I think it's from 1 to 1:30 or 1300 to 13:30. They feed the vulture here. And yeah, it definitely attracts a lot of vultures and marabou storks. Quite a lot of greenery down there by the watering hole. I know there's also, we often get a lot of herons here. Herons kind of feeding on the insects in the area. And yeah, sometimes elephant if we're lucky. There's a few escapee crocodiles that hang out at this pan too. There's a crocodile farm not too far away, and the crocodiles do escape from this pan, from the crocodile farm, and seek refuge either in the Zambezi River, which is not too far from this location. The Zambezi River is northwest of where we're looking right now. And those hills in the distance, that's actually Zambia. And the Zambezi River is kind of, yeah, in the valley there. So yeah, I'd say it's probably not more than 800 meters from Safari Lodge to the actual Zambezi River itself. So this is the area we have had a few questions recently about warthogs, and obviously the warthogs are omnivorous. And this is actually one of the locations I have seen warthogs chomping away at some bones at the Vulture restaurant. So yeah, warthogs will sometimes feed on stomach content, and yeah, occasionally chomp on bones. Right, folks, there's been some developments at Tau Lodge with our little baby zebra. So let's head over to Tau Lodge and see what's happening with our baby zebra. Oh, goodness gracious me. So, yeah, there was some developments. There was a team that went down to actually help this little zebra. I don't know if you were watching some of the other Africams. Yeah, the Tau Africam. So, there was a team that actually went in to help this little baby zebra get back to its mother safe and sound. Yeah, very, very happy that they have managed to help get that baby zebra out of the mud there, because the chance of this baby zebra getting out on its own was very, very slim. Yeah, I was a bit worried that this poor thing was either going to get eaten by crocodiles. Well, it was definitely going to get eaten by crocodiles eventually, if not die of dehydration or starvation at some stage. So very, very happy to end this live at the waterhole with a happy ending. This little baby zebra that was stuck in the mud that has been reunited its mother. Shame. It's going to be very dehydrated, very tired, very exhausted at the moment. But yeah, it'll take a bit of time. It will recover just fine. So I'm sure we've got a lot of very, very happy viewers that are very delighted that this is a happy ending. Sometimes it can not always end well with animals getting stuck in the mud. But yeah, they have managed to get this poor little zebra out of the mud, and now it is reunited with its mother. So hopefully she'll have a good drink and kind of, yeah, recoup, regain that energy. Oh my goodness, my heart is so, so happy right now. Poor little zebra. You can see it's completely covered in mud. Looks like it could even be a baby rhino. It's so full of mud. So we are very happy here to see a happy ending. Thank goodness the mother didn't leave. She hung around. Otherwise, yeah, trying to relocate this baby with its mother, if she's not close by, would have been quite difficult. It's quite a youngster. I guess it's anything between about, yeah, 2 to 2.5 months old. So very, very happy that it has been reunited with its mother again. Covered in mud. Poor little thing. See its head. It was getting so tired it could barely hold its head up, so it might have even suffocated itself eventually. Shame its poor legs are wobbly. But very, very excited that this little one has managed to escape. She is a very lucky mummy. Oof, did you see she gave a bit of attitude? Another zebra wanted to come close to her little one. She's a very protective mother, I must say. I have no idea how long that baby was in the mud for, but she's very persistently and patiently waited close by. Carrie Peace, it is definitely a great ending to the show. So excited. Very happy Mama Zebra. Thank you, Mercedes Benz. Very, very happy. I think our hearts are all glowing right now. Oh, look at this little one. You're very lucky, little one. Nope, see the other zebra even afraid of it, like, oh, what is that thing? Oh, that is a very good sign. So it's still got energy, still got some life left in it, and given a second chance. And off they go. So yeah, very exciting, folks. I don't know if you saw earlier, but earlier we were at Tower Lodge, and this little baby zebra had got stuck in the mud, and he was properly stuck in the mud. There wasn't really much chance that it was probably going to escape, because it was so stuck in the mud. It was just there with its head in the mud and everything. The female zebra, wouldn't have had much chance of getting it out, but yeah, luckily some rescuers came to the rescue and managed to, yeah, save this little zebra. Anyway, back to the watering hole. We've got a nice big male warthog here. See, there we go. Here's a very good example of a male warthog. So we had some warthogs earlier at Founders that they were males, but they had very unimpressive tusks. I actually thought they were females at first. But check out this boy. He's got some very nice sets of tusks there. Yeah, I would not want to mess with that warthog. Definitely get a nasty stab from those tusks. They can be quite aggressive. Bush pigs are also known to be more aggressive. So warthogs can be aggressive, but not as aggressive as bush pigs. So warthogs might have longer tusks, but bush pigs definitely have a bigger attitude. So bush pigs are mostly nocturnal, come out mostly at night, and because they are so sought after and also obviously very skittish, they are very can be very aggressive. Yeah, you don't want to mess with the bush pig. Definitely, yeah, you will not have a good day if you take on a bush pig. And again, that's why a lot of predators of warthogs, like leopard, cheetah, lion, do have to be very cautious of warthogs because if they get a stab wound from a warthog, it can give it a very nasty stab or tear. Yeah, tear the skin quite easily of a predator, and the last thing a predator needs is to be wounded because they very much depend on being able to hunt. Alrighty, let's link back to Victoria Falls and see what's happening there. Oh, we have a yellow-billed stork here. Oh, it looks like he's also in breeding plumage, bright pink colors to the underside of his wings. That's generally a very good sign that he is in a time for mating, looking for a female. And we also have a hummerkop, or the DJ bird on the left-hand side. He's trying to blend in very well. BK and I found a really cool hummerkop's nest the other day at Mabulla. We didn't see too many hummerkops while we were there, but nice, very fresh hummerkop's nest. Did a cool segment on the virtual safaris. Yeah, so we did a cool segment the other day of hummerkop's nest at Mabulla, so hopefully that'll come out sometime soon. Yeah, and if you could clearly see the tunnels, it was an active nest. These hummerkops make nests that can be sharks up to kind of, yeah. Oh, is that our crocodile? Oh, it looks like we've got a little crocodile here on the left-hand side. Our heron looking straight at him. He's rather brave, I must say. Because if a young crocodile's hungry, you'd definitely take on a heron, no problem. So Penelope Kenyon, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the new name of the secretary bird is the long-legged, ground-dwelling serpent eagle. But I'm not sure if that has been officially changed yet, or maybe it did not, was not a popular name. They might have changed it back. Let's have a look. I'm just having a look for this secretary bird's name, the new name. Obviously, the scientific name is Sagittarius serpentinus, which is something to do with serpents, a serpent eater, snake eater. But maybe the new name has not been taken well because that's a long name, long-legged, ground-dwelling serpent eagle. It's a bit of a mouthful. Carrie, very happy about that little baby zebra. And yeah, it is amazing that people have compassion and love for all creatures, big and small. So yeah, big thank you to the team there at Tau Lodge for planning a bit of a rescue mission for our darling little baby zebra. Well, zebra is one of my favorite animals. So really excited. Anyway, folks, It has been a lovely day here live at the waterhole. It's been great to have you with us, Penelope Kenyon, and all of our other viewers. Thank you for sending your questions and your comments and joining me here today. I will be with you tomorrow as well, same time, same place. Please tune into the Sunset Safari to see what's happening on our locations. But yeah, from me and the rest of the Wild Earth team, we just want to wish you a fabulous Tuesday afternoon. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, folks. From me and the rest of the Wild Earth crew, that'll be all. Thanks, Julie. Have a good one.